Hello everyone, let's talk about Half-Life, the original version. The game that spawned a mod that became the world-famous Counter-Strike. This is a game in which you embody the role of a scientist working for the Black Mesa Company. An experiment goes awry, causing accidental portals to other planets. What follows is the setting for one of the most immersive adventure games, in my opinion, ever created. I got this game at the age of 13 and jumped right into it. At the time, I'd never played a scary game before, and though by today's standards no one would consider the first Half-Life to be frightful, I sure as hell did at the time. Some of my memories include running for my life being chased by head crabs before you grab your trusty crowbar, looking into windows as spasmodic lights flicker on the shaking bodies of a scientist being eaten alive, walking down a ladder, only to have a long-fingered zombie creeping up behind me, and of course, being sucked up by a long-tongued creature firmly attached to the roof, struggling to pull out a weapon fast enough to not be consumed. Do you remember shooting those things and how satisfying it was when their guts flew out? Those were the good old days. Anyways, I don't know about you guys, but I still check around events when in modern day games, waiting for that damned head crab sneaking up at me in the darkness. But alas, it's not there. Apart from the fear, I also remember being stuck in various puzzles that I would eventually beat, but at the time I found very difficult. The ones involving bosses, and then there was one in an ice freezer. Flicking random switches, running up ladders, and of course pushing boxes to deflect machine gun fire. What about that final boss? That was tough as hell. But above all else, I think it was the storyline of this game which hooked me in. The vastness of the Black Mesa facility, the tour at the beginning, however long and drawn out it might have been, it is an incredible foundation for showing the player how truly vast this game was going to be, and it was. Did you guys ever turn on NoClip during that scene and explore some of those areas in the tour? It was pretty fun. There was definitely a few Easter eggs. So, after exploring the facility, being shot at by everything and attacked by just about every conceivable enemy you can imagine, you eventually get teleported to an alien world. Being the science fiction, space-loving nerd that I am, I thoroughly enjoyed the otherworld depiction. From the weird fleshy tunnels to the giant scythe arms trying to stab your eyes out. Also, how cool was that fly shooting gun? Halo must have gotten inspiration from that for the Needler. I mean, let's be honest, it's practically the same weapon. How many of us accidentally killed ourselves with the alt-fire machine gun grenades? I really enjoyed their weapon creativity, while giving us some of the conventional weapons you would expect, throwing in some crazy ones like the little bug you could throw on the ground that would hunt down anything like some sort of land piranha. Remember that idle animation for the dangling his finger over in front of the mouth? It's kind of those moments that remind me that Valve definitely has a dark sense of humor, which I don't know about you guys, but it was right at my alley. Also, let's not forget this game had an awesome soundtrack. Sort of dark at times, and it would bust into slow techno beat. I downloaded the soundtrack so I could listen to it. It definitely will remind you guys of some of the good times if you check it out. I actually put some of the music in the background of this movie. Who made that music anyways? Was it G-Man? Who was G-Man? Wasn't that like one of the greatest mysteries of the game? I read and listen to many theories on who he was, but most of them point to him being some sort of interdimensional god of some sort, controlling time and space like some sort of Truman Show to test your character. I highly recommend searching for Who Was G-Man on YouTube. Just watch some of those movies, it's really fun. I think it says a lot that they could include this character into many scenes in Half-Life, and yet he is complete mystery, always a step ahead of you, appearing to observe you, and then showing up in the end giving you a choice to work with him. I could go on about G-Man for hours, but my point is, they reveal so much to you while you're exploring the game by keeping this vast background story running parallel. I think it's this aspect of the game that really keeps my interest Another example of a game that does this well was Dead Space, but we'll talk about that at another point. That concludes our episode for today. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your favorite moments from the game. Until next time, this has been He Who Is Seth with Let's Talk. Keep remembering, everyone.